nervous about how they have to protect the ball in traffic. But downfield in open space, that's dangerous as well because you may make someone miss, and their flailing hand can knock the ball away if you don't tuck it away.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. Like Antonio Brown, Tyrell Williams came to the Raiders in March. Came up the coast from L.A., where he caught 41 balls last year with the Chargers. His best year was 2016 when the Chargers were still in San Diego. Over 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns, and the Raiders really have high hopes for this 27-year-old receiver. Carr can beat you in a lot of ways. The scramble there, a perfect example as he gets the first.
Someone knew exactly where he needed to get to pick up that first down. Now, I'm not so sure about the technique in getting there, but he went for it, and he got it.
Exactly. He knew where he needed to get, because remember, if he slides, when that derriere dips, if you will, that play's over.
The derriere dips, I like that one.
Yeah, been working on it for a little bit. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On first down, they go with Jacobs again. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. A check on Jacobs from a week ago. 9 carries, 71 yards, and a touchdown.
And that's just not enough carries for a running back to get loose and really feel like he's into the game, because they have to have enough volume to establish a rhythm, not just for themselves, but also to get in sync with their offensive line so they can read the blocks properly and they can execute them. I expect them to get a minimum of 15 carries in this game, and the optimum number would be 20+.
12 yards there and a first down. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field, all they're thinking is finish this drive off because they took it away, right? So now you've got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down, put a touchdown on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game, and that may carry over for you.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Jalen Ramsey right there in coverage to knock it away.
He's second in the NFL in interceptions, and you understand why. He plays a game of great intelligence, understands positioning, and has a great ability to break on the football when it's in the air.
So fun to watch his closing speed, and another example of it on that play. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. Brown may be the best all-around wideout in the NFL, but he might have his hands full here. He's going to be watched by Vontae Davis, a multiple-time Pro Bowler, so that will not be an easy assignment.
And what makes Vontae Davis really good at what he does is his frame. Big, strong, physical corner who also can run, and that makes it easy for him to match up with whatever receiver comes in his direction.
The offense stays out there. A big challenge here from this far back, but they're going for it on 4th and goal.
Hey, exit.
Delay of game, offense.
So that'll back him up 5. The offense stays out there. A big challenge here from this far back, but they're going for it on 4th and goal.
44 to Mike. 44 to Mike. Check. Smooth. Mike spoke both.
Carr to throw for it on 4th down. Flushed out right. And my goodness, this is incomplete. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt, and the Jaguars are going to take possession here on the turnover on downs. were looking for a clutch play there on fourth, unable to come up with it.
How about that defense, though, huh? How about that D?
Yeah, momentum swing.
And, I remember playing how much fourth downs were emphasized. Because, as you said, it's a momentum play. It's also a big test for you. If people are going to go for it on fourth down, they believe you're not up to the challenge. You want to show them differently.
After the penalty, it's Fournette. And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line. Give him a couple on the run there. It'll be 2nd and 13. On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. 8 yards on the run, and that cuts us down to a 3rd and about 5. The Jags with the football to begin the second quarter. No score after 1 on EA Sports. They've got a 3rd down and 5 to start things out. Foles. This one complete over the middle to O'Shaughnessy. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Foles. Throwing the out route and complete. That's Lee. 10 more there and another 1st down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves down.
Touchdown, Jaguars! Leonard Fournette with touchdown number 8 on the year, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. The game had been pretty uneventful offensively until that big strike.
No doubt about it. Almost felt like they were just going back and forth a little bit in the first quarter. But in the second quarter, things ramped up a little bit. Things jumped up. And you're exactly right. Going to make a highlight film or two. We'll be watching that one later on today.
This fielded at the 2. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Coming up later tonight, Sunday Night Football, a good one in SoCal. The Vikings and the Chargers from Dignity Health Sports Park. Coverage at 8:20 Eastern, 5:20 Pacific on EA Sports.
29.
On 1st down, Carr. Over the middle here to Brown. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he...
And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Calais Campbell has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you. It's just me and you. Right down. Twist. Hey, Raider 2. Mike's supposed to
To throw, it's Carr. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 42. A good grab there by the former Central Michigan man, Antonio Brown.
And he ate up some real estate on the catch, too, didn't he? I think the most impressive part of it, though, if there's a chance for him to get the football, even though he was covered well, he somehow finds a way to get it.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. 24th pick in the spring by Oakland was Josh Jacobs. Only rushed for 640 yards last year at Alabama, but when you consider the offensive depth chart they had, it makes it understandable. So young, won't turn 22 until February, and they're really hoping that the veteran presence of 30-year-old Doug Martin can be a guiding light for Jacobs. From the 36, Carr. The 7-yard line, the catch is made. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. That goes for a gain of 31. From the gun, it's Carr. And it'll be intercepted. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. Darren Waller, the intended receiver. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. You know, Charles, season winding down, time to maybe look ahead to the offseason. What do you see these guys going after either in the draft or free? And he will not be able to get away as Foles is taken down. Cleveland Farrell in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. And a good job by the Raider defense yet again as they drop him for a 2nd straight loss. Here's Foles. He's going to wind up and air it out. It got his man complete. And all the way down to the 37. A big 3rd down play there for the Jags. 51 yards. So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's 1st down on the other side of the field. Back to throw. He'll find O'Shaughnessy open left side. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. No gain on the play there. It'll be 2nd down. And the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Maurice Hurst forced his way through, drops him for a loss of 10 yards. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to let this go deep for Lee. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked up by Darian Conley. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Inside of a minute left in the half. Does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out.
Throwing on 1st down is Carr. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Now Carr. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and forever. Throwing now is Carr. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. Well, the offense failed earlier on the previous crack at this, but they're going again on 4th down. Here we go on 4th down with Carr. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard line. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This will be a 37-yard attempt. And Lambeau will put this one through. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Jaguars out on top. As we'll send you back over to, well, that came a little abruptly. Here. Still working on my apple up in the booth. Hang on here. Let me spit this out. And we can get to the third quarter now. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll weave his way up, all the way up, a few yards shy of midfield.
It's the third quarter, and they're down on the scoreboard. And while no one wants to hit the panic button just yet,
the offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because...
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Calais Campbell in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
And that's his second sack of the game, but this player... disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
Watch the screen.
On 2nd down, Jacobs. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Hey, watch the slant. 637. 44's the mic. 44's mic. Check.
Now Carr trying to lay one up deep. And that is incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to him.
They do go for it. It's Carr. He gets it to Brown. Complete. A gain of 26 and a conversion there as well on 4th down.
Well, how about that? I'm a little bit incredulous there. 4th and very long, and they decide to go for it, and what a play to pick it up.
Yeah, what does that do to the defense now?
Somewhat demoralizing, I would say, but they don't have time to hang their heads.
Carr now to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10.
SOS. Hey, 734. Mike Popo. Watch the run. It's sock, baby. That's baby sock.
Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And he is close to a 1st down as he's tackled at the Jaguars' 31.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
He's got a 1st down and much more inside the 20. And finally wrestled down at the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He had his eyes on the end zone once he hit the secondary, but they're finally able to slow him down.
Yeah, and I've got to look at this one from the defensive point of view. You just mentioned finally able to slow him down. They've got to figure out a way to make that at the point of attack, at the line of scrimmage, because once he gets through, he's shredding them.
Later one. Mike's
Shotgun now for Carr. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. Sacked by the outside backer, Telvin Smith. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Mike spoke both.
Carr now on 3rd and goal. That is caught by Brown. Touchdown, Raiders. Antonio Brown, his 14th touchdown now on the year, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it ends with an Oakland touchdown. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Trying to get the run game going. This is Fournette. And he'll get this one up to the 26. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Again, it's Fournette. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
He'll drop to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Darian Conley. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. Keelan Cole, the intended target.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his 2nd interception of the game. And so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique.
He's got him in, complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Antonio Brown with touchdown number 15 of the year and 2nd of the game. And the Raiders have taken the lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead is now 14-10. Well, they got the ball in great field position. 1 play later, boom, end zone. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Nick Foles gearing up again here to go on offense. He's likely still kicking himself from the interception last drive that wound up leading to a go-ahead score.
And he's going to assume all that came with that one, all right? That's all on.
And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. The 40, 20, 10, touchdown, Jaguars. Marquise Lee, 77 yards. And once again, the Jaguars are back out in front. Boy, the action just coming fast and furious right now. If you got up to go get a drink from the fridge, you picked the wrong time. 2 long touchdowns.
Yeah, and that's how you answer a one-play drive with a one-play drive of your own. And you're exactly right. If you step away from the action, my dad took me to a Major League Baseball game when I was 8. I needed to go to the bathroom. Of course, while we're in the bathroom, grand slam home run.
Well, it tends to happen that way, doesn't it?
Yeah, my dad still hasn't forgiven me.
They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
No gain on the play there. Second down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
6-18.
From the gun, Carr. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's on the big guard, Gabe Jackson. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long.
93. 44 to Mike. 44 to Mike. Check.
Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Better than a 30-yard gain as we wind down towards 30 seconds left in the quarter.
Now that one hurts defensively. They force him into 3rd and long, have the advantage, yet they give up the big play right there.
Yeah, their offense was already warming up on the sideline, ready to come out. So much for that 3 and out. Carr now on 1st down. And this will be caught. Tyrell Williams. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the...
Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. On 2nd and 9, Foles. This is Jeff Swaim, the tight end. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Blue. But he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Jaguars. Alfred Blue, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the forced turnover on defense leads to 6 points. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Raider offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. Antonio Brown, kiss him goodbye. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Antonio Brown, 61 yards, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. So that's a really big play here in the 4th quarter, and don't look now, they're right back in this game.
Did it feel to you, as it did to me, that maybe they were a little bit soft in what they were lining up with on defense? Almost like they were protecting the lead rather than trying to make a play.
And now that lead, it's down to just 1 score. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. They've been rolling the last couple of drives, each ending in touchdowns. So this game is flipped. They were down. Now they're up with a football. We'll see how they handle it.
Can we get a spy on the headset now between the head coach and offensive coordinator? Because they've been in attack mode. Had to get back into the game. Now they have the lead. Do you stay on the attack, or do you dial it back a little bit to try and protect this lead?
Well, my cop-out answer would be somewhere in the middle. I think it's going to be a fine line, is it not?
I think you're exactly right, but I do think if they can stay aggressive and keep them on their heels, they'll be best served that way.
Fournette, a first down carry. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. A loss of 2 there. Second down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
Into the hands of Lee on the jet sweep. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Back-to-back running plays, putting him in negative territory. What can they do coming up on 3rd and 15? They're going to look to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have... Help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
It's a 4-yard return following a punt of 49. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. Derek Carr, 3 fourth-quarter comebacks for the Raiders last year, and they only won 4 games total, so they've got some experience dealing with tight ones. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Carr now on first down. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against him offensively. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Carr. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Oh, no, he lost the football. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Carr completes it, and they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Well, they had a gain of 10 last time, now a gain of 20 here. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a first down. On first down, it's Jacobs. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage.
93. 93.
Back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Snags it for the pick. That is now seven interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. They'll run it again with Fournette. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to 3rd down.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. Here's Logan Cook now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Now Brown. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15, and there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit 000. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Look at the clock. Everyone knows the situation. Probably time here for one final play.
And we know what that play is going to be. It's got to be some sort of Hail Mary, throwing it towards the end zone and hoping someone can catch it or catch it off of a tip. Think back to 2015. Didn't we see Green Bay pull that off twice in the season? Once in the regular season, once in the playoffs. So stranger things have happened. It'd be interesting to see what the defensive strategy is about who they put on the field to try and knock that ball away.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10.
Here I come. 694. 44 is the mic. Hey, Orbit. Coming this way. Here we go. 44 is the mic. 44 is mic. Check. Don't let him breathe. That's it.
One final try now for Carr. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. J.J. Nelson finding the end zone on the game's final play. And they have taken the lead here in the final minute. This one is going to sting for a while. I mean, how do you let that happen defensively?
One
stop. I know that it's easy to say that from the booth, but
it is.
How do you let that happen, partner?
That's one of those where sometimes you get overzealous on defense, get out of your lanes, don't take care of your assignments. But let's just go ahead and focus on the offensive guy. Look what they got done.
Yeah.
They needed to make one play themselves, and they did it.
Yeah, that's the reverse side. It was a heck of a play and a heck of an ending to this script. So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best.